Nadine here from Just Me on Life, welcoming you to this channel. Hope you are well. If you are new, please like, subscribe and put on those notifications so you can keep up with the journey, and pop a little thumb up on the like if you find this content valuable so that other people can find it more easily. Today we are going to be talking about how to clear your clutter and why clearing your clutter is so important. Now, let's look at where we currently are with this situation, because more people in the world now have an additional storage unit than ever before. This is external storage that they are hiring to put their stuff in, and as I heard once in a joke, renting a place to go and visit the things they own. It seems crazy, but so many of us do it in so many countries, and it has become like a billion-dollar industry in the USA. And I think by 2011 there were at least 50,000 storage units in the UK alone. So imagine how that has grown in the last 10 years. People are literally running out of space in their homes, in their cars, in their garages, and moving out into buying like these, container type storage facilities so they can put and pile all of their stuff up in, and then go in to have a look at it. Not really take anything out, not bring things home, not swap them around, just to know that they're there, because that is the current situation. Now, many of these people that you will watch on shows that's like, their houses are filled with things, they don't even necessarily have to be a hoarder, because that is a condition by itself. But people, even with tendencies just to keep things and store them and pile them up and not really deal with things generally, and when you ask them, it's like, I cannot bear to get rid of these treasured possessions. But what is a treasured possession? We really need to examine this closely and ask ourselves in an honest way, does this really mean a lot to me? And am I going to get any use out of it by keeping it? Or can I just have it as a memory? In which case, why are we taking up all of this space and paying all this additional money and spending all this additional time to keep our things around us? I want you to ask yourself, how much do you really need things? And what is your clutter costing you? That is the big question. Now, I want to share a few things with you about why it is so hard to let go of our clutter, of our possessions, of things that we've kind of already had a use for, but we just hold on to them in case. And I know you've all got that place, that drawer, that thing that you still meaning to sort out. Unless you've been through a whole kind of minimalism journey or decluttering journey, then you may have managed to sort that out and stay organized, because getting organized is one thing, but staying organized is another. So actually, why is it so hard? There are some real biological basis here, and that is that there are like these two parts of the brain that light up when we get rid of our stuff in the same way they do when we experience physical pain. So you can imagine your brain is having all of these signals go off when you're literally letting go of things, as if there's some sort of pain being harmed, caused to your body. So there are things that alert us that this is not a good idea, because it can't quite tell the difference if this is a real painful situation or not. Then there is the obvious one of obligation. So many of us keep things because we've been given them as a gift, we've inherited them, maybe we got them from somebody and it meant a lot to them, so we think we need to keep hold of it even though it's not our memory or our experience. There are things that maybe people have paid a lot of money for with gifts, or we think they're going to come around and check if we've got that, painting hanging up on the wall, whatever. Just, we feel bad. And we don't need to feel bad, because ultimately a gift is a gift. It doesn't mean you need to say yes even when someone's trying to donate something to you. If you can't make use of it, if you don't love it, if it's just going to end up piled up in the corner, don't even bother. I would much rather someone was honest with me and say, I haven't got space for that, I'm not going to use that, and I could put that in a better home where it's actually going to be quite useful and cherished by somebody. Maybe the next time you buy a gift, you actually ask someone, or if you're in the position where somebody does ask you, I'd rather this, that, or the other, or an experience or a replacement of something I already use than, you know, this extra item. I've got to find a place to put it and clear out something I already have to keep it. That seems like way too much hassle and way too much obligation to put on other people as well as ourselves. So learning to say no in a really gentle, honest way is going to be a massive win-win for you. Wow, I'm loving this glow from the sunlight. What do you think? Good lighting? I'm liking it. Okay, so another thing is we feel guilty about the money we spent on items. Even when they're not expensive, you know, they could be inexpensive, they could be expensive, but because we've spent money on them, because we went out and we purchased them, because we made that initial investment, we think that we have to keep them forever or until they've completely worn out. Not the case, just crazy. Think about all of the things you bought in your life and how many mistakes you've made around purchases and things you may want to upgrade because you find something with a better use, a better value, more suited to your needs, whatever it may be. It doesn't mean you need to keep all of the old stuff. And if something doesn't fit you anymore, or it was from school, or it was for a particular job, you don't need to keep it around just because you once bought it. Donate it. Let it live on in its life cycle and be really, really useful to somebody else. And you know what? If it's worn out and it needs to go, it needs to go. There may be a way, however, of recycling parts of it or bringing it to a place that does recycle materials, but it doesn't mean you need to keep it around for that DIY project that you never really get round to doing, or that you need to hold on to it just in case you have a spare part for something. Like, you know, I know people with drawers full of like 10 million plug sockets and fuses and all these things. They don't even know what they're going to do with them, even if that time arose, because they don't have the skill to make use of it. So we don't need to keep hold of things just because we once spent money on them. It's all about how we're investing right now and in our future, making more intentional decisions and actually learning from those purchases is what I feel is most useful to me. And then we have that good old emotional attachment. You know, when the heart beats, flutter in the tummy, all the excitement goes off, things that remind us of a really good time, getting all nostalgic, or maybe we've got some really negative emotional attachment about it. It could be about things that went wrong in a relationship in the time of our life. They could remind us of great days at school, whatever it is. That emotional attachment, it kind of insists on us, and it's like that little thing creeping on your shoulder saying, keep me, don't you remember what happened in 2001? You know you've got that. And you look at objects and they spark something for you, and it's not always necessarily joy, but because there is something there, we think we need to keep it because it feels like a part of us. And there are these experiments done that, let me just grab an object. So the longer you hold things like this, if I held this for 30 seconds versus 3 minutes, I would place more value on it for the 3 minutes than the 30 seconds. So what the studies have shown is the longer we hold it, the more time spent with an object is the more value we actually place on it. So if you're in a shop and you're holding things, or you've got these treasured items in your home and you've looked at them, you've picked them up, you've put them back down, you've organised them, you've been over them, you've cleaned them, all of that kind of adds up and it builds on this emotional attachment. It makes us think that we can't let go because it's like letting go of a part of ourselves. But at the end of the day, if your vase breaks, if your glass candle breaks, if your wine glass breaks, whatever, I'm really thinking about glass things here, they are not you. You are you. You are eternal. You are the person that can create and gain and get all of these things 10 times, 100 times over in your lifetime. Replacing that glass, replacing that vase, replacing that book, replacing your favourite mug is not going to diminish from who you are or what that item initially meant for you. If you've got great memories, if you've got great things attached to it, then remember those, document those, take a picture if you want to, keep a scrapbook. But you don't need to keep all of the physical items around just because they reminded you of something or they make you feel a certain way. Because I can guarantee you can conjure up all of those feelings in so many other ways with different triggers. And you can look back and just be fond of things that you do remember about them without having to have a whole row of figurines or memorabilia from travel or whatever just taking up space. when we know space is so valuable, it's precious, and we need to fill it with the things that are the absolute most use and just loving for us. We want them to bring loving vibes into our world. So don't keep things just because they feel like they're a part of you, or they're a memory, or you feel obliged to have them because they were given to you or they cost a lot of money. For part 2, let's look at the benefits of the why you should clear your clutter. Should's a really odd word. You could clear your clutter, what you'll gain from it, and what you're kind of missing out on if you don't. So there's been lots of things written about how things in your physical space will actually drain your energy. So even if you're not like intentionally looking at them and focusing them and thinking about them and talking about them, the fact that they're there in the back of your mind, you know they're there, and it means that they are draining your energy in some way, because there is a decision that has not been made. And indecision is a massive energy drainer. You may think, I was meant to donate that, I didn't wash it, I didn't look at those letters and reply to them, that pile of paper on the floor, I don't even remember what it is, yet alone what I should have done with it. I haven't made a decision about whether I should put it away, I should find a home for it to keep it and store it. Like, there's all of these things we just leave and leave and leave and leave and leave until they just become like stuck. We kind of put our head in the sand, don't do anything, which means they pile up, whether it's a paper clutter on the floor, or a pile of books on your shelf, or letters you haven't opened, or a drawer stuffed full of stuff because you just need to put them away out of sight. We still know that they're there and they still have an impact on us. So putting them out of sight or just trying to walk past them doesn't mean that they're not impacting on you in some way or another. So whether you've not read the book, or you need to type up your notes, or whatever it is you need to do with it, it's about coming up with a decision and then following through on that, instead of saying, I'll do it later, and putting it off until you can't even remember where the starting point was. And I've been there, I know, don't worry. So another thing is about having less stress and more peace of mind. And also I think cleaning is a lot easier. So I'm going to combine these in one, because I think one of the things that gets people quite stressed is when they have to tidy up or clean their home, and they find it quite stressful because they're having to move so many things. They can't even like wipe a surface or hoover because there's like boxes or piles of clothes on the corner, and there's stuff all over, your piles of just tat, and you don't even know what it is on the side, things you've emptied from your pockets and your bags, and you maybe got some things you're meant to put out in the trash, and stuff you're meant to bring to work, and stuff you're meant to give back to your friend that you borrowed, and they're everywhere. And you can't even keep your home organized because you can't even get to clean the floor because the surface is full, or you're literally tripping over your clutter because there is stuff everywhere. And it's stressful. It means that you can't keep clean and organised. It means that doing your everyday tasks around your home and maintaining it takes longer, is more kind of chaotic, and also more dangerous because there's literally physical objects in your way. And you can't have peace of mind when you're looking around. There's always something left that you need to do. And it's like, your poor brain. Your poor brain is just suffering. And that over time will have an impact on all of your health. Of course, you can become more organised and more productive when you make these decisions, because you're going to become a person who does make decisions, who says, I'm going to do this with it, do this with this item, and actually gets it out of the way. You're teaching yourself that you can get things done. You're an action taker, and it means you'll be more productive in all areas of your life and stay on top of things, instead of feeling like you're always one step behind, or you always need to kind of figure out what you should have done last week on your to-do list instead of getting on with today's. So being more productive, it's an absolute win-win. What can I say? And also, you're just gonna feel so much better about the place you live in. You're gonna be able to appreciate the things around you, appreciate your car, your home, your bags, your surroundings, your clothing, whatever it is, because you'll be able to see things, appreciate the beauty because they're not covered up by stuff. You'll be able to keep it clean and beautiful. You'll love people coming around because you'll be proud. You won't be worried if someone steps in your car when you give them a lift because there's like banana skins on the floor and piles of things that you haven't quite organised or thrown away. Everything's gonna be better for you. Your appreciation levels, your gratitude will go up. You're going to be happier in the space you're in, and that's just amazing for me, and an amazing feeling I want you to have in all places and spaces that you're in, whether it's your desk at work or your home or somewhere you travel in. Let's make them all really, really fun, great, creative, invigorating places to be in. So some questions you can ask yourself to get started. Do I need it? Do I love it? Do I have a space for it? For some things you may have a space for it, but actually you answer the other two, it kind of goes out the window. And for others you might really love it, but it really has no use. So you have to determine whether you're going to make a space for it, or if there's an object that you might have that can serve two purposes so you don't have to double up. So like some kitchen gadgets and things where they could be a 2 or even a 3-in-1 use, and that's really, really handy. So quick wins for you. I always say start with something simple. It could be clearing out your handbag, that one junk drawer that everybody's got in their homes, especially family homes. Just the batteries go in there and the manuals and all the things of probably items you haven't even got anymore. Little related pieces to toys, and it just gets so full. You go in to find like a lighter or a candle or whatever, and you can't even get through without, you know, cutting your finger or finding a whole maze of things that suddenly stress you out because you can't be bothered to deal with them. You haven't got time at that particular moment. So start with one thing that's bugging you, one thing that will make a big difference to you. It could be kind of inside car door. What are they? Like storage trays you get. It's not just the glove compartment, but the little trays you get in all your cars. Anything that you kind of use on a regular basis or go past on a regular basis or are ignoring on a regular basis. You're just shutting the door and hoping nothing falls out. Do that one thing. Start simple. Get really motivated by the buzz you get from finishing that, and then show yourself that you're a person who can make decisions, who can take action, and who can keep things clean and organised, and actually say, I'm okay with letting go of things that no longer serve me. At the end of the day, we're all working towards creating something new in our lives, something more exciting, something more fulfilling. We can't hold on to our old stuff that doesn't serve the purpose of where we're going, because how can we move forward if we're not even allowing ourselves to let go of that baggage? So really, really be intentional with this and think about all of the benefits you'll get from it and whether it's going to serve you moving forward. And I always just think there's like so many different methods. You know, there's the KonMari method, Japanese way of tidying and folding. There's the Swedish deck clean. There's like 30 days decluttering videos for minimalism. There's like so many different things that you can try that you may have implemented. They may not have been sustainable, they may have been too much to try, but there's going to be a method out there that works for you. There's another lady, I will link her below if I can. I think her name's Denise. She's like a feng shui and tidying expert as well. And she has like the different methods of boxes she uses of what to put in what box and how to organise them. What I really love and what I've done with one of my Facebook groups, the Emerging Warrior on Facebook, is in the past we went through a whole decluttering month. And I did a meditation before, so it's all about really getting you to focus on the places you want to start with in your home, maybe the emotional attachments you can let go of in that meditation, so it's easier to then move forward, and visualizing what you want things to look like and most importantly feel like, so that you can move forward with purpose, really drawing on that inspiration of what you're going to gain from it. So however you start small, start in a way that's manageable to you. It doesn't have to be like a whole day, a whole weekend and trying to sort everything out, because that can bring on more anxiety than anything else. But do something that gets you going, get into action, get moving, get the momentum flowing and build up from there, because you need to keep asking yourself, what is this clutter costing me by keeping it around, by not letting it go? Why is it that I could declutter? What's it going to bring me if I start to really go through these things make a decision and figure out what's going to serve me by keeping it around. And it's all about creating a life of joy, of upgrading our lifestyle in all ways, and that means being in a space that works for us as well as anything else. So let's think about the places we spend the most time in, the things we use most often, the things that we need to be really functional, and what benefits we want at the end of it. Because I want you to all feel good, to all keep increasing the joy in your life, to increasing all of the good feelings in your life, and to bring lots of benefits through watching these videos. I hope that's been really useful for you to get you going, thinking about what you want to do next. And if you have any sort of tips that you want to share, also, if you're going to now take on this challenge and find one thing to go and declutter, one place, one area, let me know what it is in the comments below. I will be cheering you on all the way. And if you've got any sort of before and after pictures or anything like that, tell me where I can find those, because they are so motivational. Absolutely love them. Cannot get enough. Thank you for watching. I will be back soon with more things and more ways that you can upgrade your lifestyle and create a life of purpose. I hope that I will see you soon, and if you want to drop a comment or a question below, you want me to do anything else on this series, on this topic, then please let me know and I will pick it up in the comments. Bye bye.